The President, along with First Lady Fazna Ahmad, toured the center as part of his current official visit to Japan. Upon arrival at the facility, President Solih was welcomed by President of MDPC, Najama Satoshi. During the visit, the President also met with 5 members of the Maldives National Defense Force MNDF training at the facility and inquired about their progress and experiences. The management and representatives from MDPC also briefed the President on emergency management, response mechanisms and training for disaster preparedness exercised in Japan. President Solih also toured the oil spill control training station and coast cleaning training site. MDPC has a state-of-the-art training department targeting oil spill control, firefighting, chemical and hazardous noxious substance NHS control, and includes the Daini Kahu hazardous material response and firefighting training facility. Japan, an island nation similar to Maldives, is prone to natural disasters including earthquakes, volcanic eruptions and typhoons. The destructive implications of these recurring natural disasters led to the enhancement of its emergency management system. Along with organizational changes and the integration of the latest technological advancements, Japan represents one of the most holistic disaster management systems in the world. The 2 island countries are currently working on finalizing the Building Climate Resilient Safer Islands in the Maldives project through the Global Climate Fund. The Malé Seawall construction project has been a living symbol of the friendly relations between Japan and Maldives in the area of disaster preparedness. Some recent developments in this arena include Japanese grant aid to acquire a fireboat and a landing craft, grant aid to procure equipment and materials for oil spill prevention, and donation of disaster reduction equipment to Maldives. CEO of SAARC Development Fund SDF, Dr. Sunil Motiwal, reveals a loan facility of $10 million has been allocated to Maldives to develop small and medium enterprises (SMEs). Speaking to PSM News, Sunil Motiwal said SDF is planning to launch important developmental projects for SAARC countries, coinciding its 6th meeting. The projects include a program titled Micro, Medium and Small Enterprises to develop the economy and infrastructure of SAARC nations, and Maldives has been allocated a loan amount of $10 million. Sunil Motiwal has held talk with Minister of Economic Development Fayyaz Ismail, and the meeting generated positive results and discussions. He said the discussions included aspects of health and tourism sector, while they also discussed how SDF can collaborate with administration to develop economic activities in Maldives. He expressed interest of SDF in investing in fisheries and agriculture development in Maldives. Currently, 7 projects are underway in Maldives as part of SDF Social Window Scheme, out of which 5 projects have begun, while 4 projects will be completed soon. SDF is currently running 98 projects in 8 countries. SDF has invested $198 million for development projects in SAARC countries. And now we'll take a short break for Isha prayers. Please stay with us.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Mammati asli himmage dammartiye aliko dingmage
in Addo city. The ministry said the project that cost $37.5 million will be self-funded by Dongfang. As per the Public Finance Act, the project has been awarded to Dongfang without tender process after fulfilling cabinet approval and permission from relevant authorities. The administration has also decided to award the project as Addo city is a key area in the blue economy policy of the administration. Addo power project is deemed essential to developing economic activities in the city. Dongfang was also deemed capable of carrying the project as it is financially strong and technically experienced. At a function held at Margate Hotel, the contract was signed by Director at Economic Ministry Nahia Mohammed and Chief Representative of Dongfang, Kui Chun. Speaking at the event, Minister of Economic Development Fayyaz Ismail said the administration intends to provide a permanent solution to the provision of electricity in Maldives during the 5-year term of the administration. The minister further said the development of proper and reliable basic services such as sewerage systems, power and clean water is essential in the efforts to develop 4 economic hubs across Maldives as per the electoral pledge of the administration. He said the administration intends to develop the power generation capacity that serves the needs for the next 15 years. Addo Power Project will be run in collaboration with state utility company Feneka Corporation Limited. Managing Director of Feneka Ahmed Saeed foresees a contemporary powerhouse built in Addo at the end of the project. He suggested the project would bring revolutionary changes to the power system in Addo city, which is the first major development initiative to improve the power system of the city after 23 years. He further said Addo city would have the capacity to develop 36 megawatts of electricity at the end of the project. As part of the efforts of the administration to move towards green energy, it has been targeted to produce 70% of the power produced in Addo city via renewable energy sources. The project will see the development of a 10-megawatt solar energy system as part of the renewable energy project. Meanwhile, Mayor of Addo City Council Abdullah Sadiq said the power grid in the second largest city of the country is very old and providing electricity to residents is currently very costly. He said the residents hope the power project would solve the power uncertainties and failures in the city. He also said power is one factor that hinders economic development in the city, and the council expects the project to bring positive changes to the economic activities in the city. The project, to be completed in 15 months, would be managed and operated by Fenaka Corporation once the project is completed. Addo City can currently produce only 6 or 7 megawatts of electricity from outdated generators, although over the years it has installed generators to produce 25 megawatts of electricity. Minister of Economic Development Fayyaz Ismail reveals the administration has received 137 unsolicited proposals without public tenders. Speaking at a news conference, Economic Minister Fayyaz said around 20 of the proposals the administration has received are water and sewerage development projects. The minister further said the administration is counseling with stakeholders to award around 15 proposals. He said most of the proposals submitted are by firms from China and India, while firms from the Middle East have also submitted proposals to develop bridges and ports in Maldives. Swift development of power, water and sewerage, housing, health and educational projects is the justification of the administration for awarding projects without tender. The economic minister said the administration has pledged to develop the basic infrastructure of the country in the next 3 years. He further said unlike public tenders, these mega projects are funded by foreign aid and concessional loans, and the administration has the option to pay for such projects in a long-term basis. The Public Finance Act allows the administration to award projects without tender to a contractor determined by the President based on the counsel from the Economic Council, Cabinet and Parliament committees. The ministry states the proposals are thoroughly evaluated by all stakeholders for cost and quality before the projects are awarded. The policy to award projects without public tender was announced by the administration in the month of January. The Dutch dredging giant Boskalis was recently contracted to reclaim 6 million cubic meters of land from Gulifar for $53 million under this policy. Ministry of Higher Education reveals more than $1.5 million has been spent to provide free undergraduate degree programs in Maldives. Speaking at the Parliamentary Committee on National Development and Heritage, Deputy Minister of Higher Education Aishat Shafina said more than 5,600 students have taken the opportunity to pursue degrees for free. She further said invoices of 3,800 refund payments of 1,700 students have also been settled. The free degree program is expected to cost the state a total of more than $10 million a year. The program pays the total course fees of the undergraduate students studying at the Maldives National University MNU and Islamic University of Maldives IUM, while 40 to 60% of the tuition fees of students pursuing undergraduate degree programs in private institutions are paid for by the government. Speaking at the committee, Minister of Higher Education Dr. Ibrahim Hassan said the administration has awarded 567 loans for students to pursue higher education. He said the number is significant compared to the student loans issued in 2018. He also announced plans to announce for additional student loans. The latest loan round saw the administration awarding 245 students the opportunity to study in any country of their choice, although the full coverage of the expenses are available only in countries approved by the ministry. The rest is provided with a partial coverage of the expenses. The administration has also recently reduced the interest rates of the student loans and increased the payback period to make it more affordable for the students. Parliamentary Committee on Economic Affairs approves former director at Maldives Inland Revenue Authority, MIRA, Fathullah Jamil, to be appointed as the Commissioner General of Taxation. The committee made the decision following an interview of the nominations. The committee also opened opportunity for the public to submit opinion on the nominations before October 21. President Ibrahim Mohamed Soleh nominated Fathullah Jamil and Ismail Nashid to be appointed as the Commissioner General of Taxation. He also nominated Muhammad Siraj Munir, Asma Shafiu, Ismail Sajid, Ahmad Sharif, Ahmad Wafir and Hamdi Agil to be appointed as the Deputy Commissioner of Taxation. However, only Asma Shafiu and Ismail Sajid attended the interview conducted by the committee to approve a nomination as Deputy Commissioner of Taxation. Therefore, both nominations were approved and forwarded to the Parliament floor for voting. Former Commissioner General of Taxation Yazid Muhammad was dismissed once President Soleh ratified the second amendment to the Tax Administration Act, which stipulates the Commissioner General of Taxation must be appointed within 30 days from the date of ratification. Parliamentary Committee on Independent Institutions approves 3 of the 4 nominations submitted by President Ibrahim Mohamed Soleh to be appointed to National Integrity Commission (NIC). The decision was made following an interview of the 4 nominations prioritized by the President. In this regard, the committee interviewed Shuaib Abdul Rahman, Ahmad Jihad, Mariam Shahniz Nasir and Hawwa Alisha. However, the committee approved all the nominations except Hawwa Alisha. The President submitted nominations for the position left vacant following the resignation of Muhammad Farhad from NIC. Farhad also filled the position of the President of NIC. Therefore, only one of the 3 nominations approved by the committee will be appointed to NIC. Initially, President's office submitted 26 nominations for the position. However, the Parliament advised to submit the nominations again as the parliamentary cycle was coming to a close and the newly elected parliamentarians were soon to take oath of office. The President's office opened opportunity to submit nominations for a second time on July 29. Judicial Service Commission JSC decides to investigate the judges accused of being involved in the corruption scandal of Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation, MMPRC. The decision comes after Prosecutor General Aishat Bisham recently stated members of the judiciary were accomplices of the biggest embezzlement scandal in the recent history of Maldives. The judicial watchdog has decided to launch an investigation into the judges and to reach out to relevant authorities to request for information and evidence. Following comments from Bisham, the Judges Association of Maldives has also called to launch an investigation and take action against judges involved in the graft case. Meanwhile, JSC has decided to forward its decision to dismiss Chief Magistrate at Kafur Judicial Department Muhammad Raqib Ahmed after investigating 8 cases of misconduct filed against him. However, following the decision to dismiss him, the Chief Magistrate has resigned after serving over 27 years. Furthermore, JSC has also decided to accept the request from Chief Magistrate at Lama Judicial Department Ahmad Sharif to retire with the retirement package under JSC regulations. JSC decided to accept the request as he is 57 years old and has submitted medical reports highlighting health complications indicated. JSC has announced the investigations into the disciplinary cases filed against Supreme Court Judge Adam Muhammad will be opened for the public. The decision was made following a request from the Supreme Court Judge. Previously, JSC has made public similar investigations against Supreme Court Judge Abdullah Didi upon his request. He was later removed from the Supreme Court following a parliament vote. JSC is also currently investigating disciplinary cases filed against Chief Justice Dr. Ahmad Abdullah Didi, Supreme Court Judge Abdullah Arif, in addition to Judge Adam Muhammad. Judicial Service Commission JSC reveals 12 judges have submitted nominations for the vacant position at High Court of Maldives. The announcement was made following the amendments made to the Judicature Act in 2017 to increase the number of judges to 11. There are currently 9 judges on the bench at High Court. The requirements for the candidates seeking to be appointed to the High Court include a degree in Islamic Sharia or a degree in law or both. A judge at High Court is paid $3,526 a month, including a basic monthly pay of $2,338. The judges are also entitled to medical insurance and phone allowances as allocated by the Parliament. Kurdufushi Regional Hospital contracts Wavelength Private Limited to develop a modern labor room and Central Sterile Services Department CSSD. Wavelength was contracted to complete the project within 80 days at a cost of about $85,000. The agreement was signed by manager at Kurdufushi Regional Hospital Ahmed Dawood and managing director at Wavelength Yunus Ibrahim. Currently, Kurdufushi Regional Hospital is not equipped with a labor room and has been utilizing a normal room to deliver babies. CSSD is an integrated area in hospitals and other healthcare facilities that perform sterilization and other actions on medical devices, equipment and consumables for subsequent use by health workers in operation theaters of the hospital, and also for other aseptic procedures such as catheterization, wound stitching and bandaging in a medical, surgical, maternity or pediatric ward. The 5th Maldives Marine Expo commences in Darbaruge Convention Center, Male City. Maldives Marine Expo is an annual exhibition held each year in efforts to strengthen the boating sector of the country, initiated by the National Boating Association of Maldives. The 5th Maldives Marine Expo was launched by Minister of Economic Development Fayyaz Ismail. Addressing at the launching ceremony, Economic Minister Fayyaz Ismail highlighted the safari industry plays a major role in enhancing the tourism sector of the country. He noted the safari industry showed the tourists the whole country, assuring the administration will acknowledge the recommendations of the liveaboards to boost the sector. This year, there are 30 exhibitors with 52 stalls participating in the expo. The event acts as a platform for the stakeholders in the marine industry in Maldives, in addition to providing a platform for the locals to showcase their products internationally. According to the organizers, the main difference of the expo is that the vessels formerly featured at the Darbaruge Convention Center is displayed at the sea. Marine talks and marine walks will be held as part of the expo, which is held from October 18 to 20. Marine talks will see the discussions of issues faced in the sector, while the marine walks will display the attires used in the sector. The Marine Expo 2019 is held under the theme Marine Technology. Protest flare in Chile's capital, Santiago, after days of protest, arson, attackers and looting, which has been seen more than 6,000 people detained and at least 15 people killed.
Thousands of Chileans defied a state of emergency and military curfews. Clashes erupted after largely peaceful marches were led by students and trade unionists in the first formally organized demonstration against social inequality since Chilean President Sebastián Piñera pledged social reforms to try to quell days of rioting. Piñera has said he hoped to turn the violent protests into an opportunity for Chile. Piñera's proposed reforms include a guaranteed minimum wage, a hike in the state pension, and the stabilization of electricity costs. The president said the package represented concrete and urgent steps to resolve inequality that has sent tens of thousands into the streets to demand an economic overhaul and, in some cases, his removal.
FIFA President Gianni Infantino reveals China will host the first edition of the new and expanded 24-team Club World Cup in 2021.
Following a meeting of the Global Football Body's Decision-Making Council in Shanghai, FIFA announced it would revamp the tournament to feature 24 teams from 2021, with Infantino saying the competition would take place in June-July of that year.
FIFA World Cup for clubs will be a competition which every person, every child, and anyone who loves football is looking forward to. It is the first real and true World Cup where the best teams in the world, the best clubs in the world, will compete. This World Cup will feature 24 teams, It will be held in June, July in China of 2021.
He did not give a precise breakdown, but said the competition will feature 8 teams from Europe, 1 from China, 1 from Oceania, and 3 each from the other continental confederations. He said the criteria for selecting the teams would be decided in the next few weeks. When asked about how the NBA's current experience in China will influence FIFA's considerations for the event, Infantino said that FIFA has a social responsibility by bringing football to the people.
Of course, that we have also a social responsibility due to the magnitude and the power that football brings with it. And we have to assume this social responsibility in a very serious way. And we do that. But we don't do that by attacking, criticizing anyone. We do that by going to the people. We do that by speaking with the people. We do that by bringing football to the people. And by bringing football to the people all over the world, we bring smile, we bring joy, we bring hope.
The NBA's business in China has taken a turn for the worst following a Houston Rockets executive's tweet supporting Hong Kong protesters. Infantino also announced the hosts for the 2030 World Cup would be chosen at the FIFA Congress in 2024 and that the global soccer body intended to invest $1 billion in women's football over the next 4 years. The Club World Cup currently consists of 7 teams and is held every December. Qatar will stage the final 2 editions, including the one this year.
It will be held in June.
In a bizarre record, a group of martial arts experts in India's western Surat city make up Guinness Book of World Record by lying on a multi-layered bed of nails.
A 9-member team led by Guinness World Record holder and martial arts expert Vizpi Karadi lied on top of each other with 4 to 6 inches on nails placed between them as the audience watched them create history. Karadi and his team broke their own record of most layered bed of nails sandwich, which was previously made with 8 people being involved. Karadi also made another record of bending most number of iron bars in a minute, breaking the record of a Russian national.
And with that, that concludes the English bulletin for today. Have a pleasant day ahead. Goodbye.